according to that, at least.
I'm not in their camp on that one.
Yeah, no, Brotherhood of Steel in New Vegas is like, I much prefer the old depiction of the Brotherhood, which is what the Brotherhood of Steel in like New Vegas is. In Fallout 3 was when they started transitioning them to be like, yeah, they're just good guys now. All the time.
Yeah.
New Vegas, but yeah. I usually don't side with them in New Vegas.
Yeah.
I usually either do NCR or Courier, Independent Courier.
Mm-hmm. They're giving me trouble, and I'm not keen on it.
Yeah. Are you
But
going to
anyway.
take the space laser from them?
Not planning on it.
Okay.
I'm just going to blow them up.
Well, our audio seems good, if that makes you feel any better.
Good. Yeah. I do wish we had some like music to play underneath this, but thought about that a little too late, I suppose.
Bring up the... I would have to, like, get rid of the source. I mean, I suppose I would just be opening it on YouTube, but it would be, like, scuffed.
Put us on the Be Right Back screen, and then be right back.
True. We're still here,
We can chat. Yeah, we can talk about what we're doing while we
the
get
chat
some
feed
mood
doesn't
music.
work on the Be Right Back screen because I haven't actually fixed that yet, but...
Yeah, me neither. I also haven't gotten mine to work.
Let me...
Wait 1 second, everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the Umineko OST so we can just have it in the background.
Yeah, just get some music. Just get some background music to play.
Chronological order, 200 videos. Oh, great heavens, that's loud. I think that...
Thank you, Miss McLesbian.
Come on, I need to... Oh, God, I have to wait a minute now. So I can actually hear it in the feed.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
What is this song?
Which one? What's the name of it?
Majo to Suri no Rando.
Does it have vocals?
It does, in fact.
It's probably the opening theme. One of the many opening themes.
It is quite loud in the... Wait. Let me turn it down even further. That was muting it. Wait.
In this instance, you can also always turn down your desktop application on OBS. True.
But it wasn't all the way down, so it might be... Just give it a second.
Yep.
Oh, okay, now it sounds good, now that I turned it way down, okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're so back.
Yay!
We're so back. All right, get that out of here. Well,
it's time now.
Now it is time. Welcome everyone to our patent pending Umineko tier list, character tier list TM. We have no metric by which we're doing this tier list. We have to decide everything right now. We have to...
Yeah. I figured the first one should probably be which character, the order in which you liked the characters, or the degree to which you like the characters.
Okay.
And we can go into the more difficult ones after that. But start with personal preference, because that's easiest to do, right? Usually, in theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will be doing this alongside you, though you won't see mine, because mine will probably be a little different, but probably not greatly different. So then.
Okay.
Nothing to do but to do it.
I have my things set. I have my 5 tiers.
Oh, I see. You're naming them. Yep.
Yes, I have love, like, indifferent, dislike, and hate, which is weirdly the colors are swapped as to what they would normally be for those categories, but you know what? We're rolling with it.
Yep.
So, we got to get started then. And just go down the list.
It'll be tough. It'll probably be a not bell-curved graph, but that's fine.
What do you think about Amakusa?
He's a funny little guy.
He is a he is a funny little guy, although I don't know if he's really a little guy.
He's a funny guy. That's all I
is.
really think about him.
He is a funny guy.
Have
But
you
yeah.
since yet gone back to do the trick ending?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, that changes things a little bit. Also, I should go ahead and say, if you didn't already infer, audience, full spoilers now that everything's done for us.
Yeah, full spoilers, 100%. We have finished the game. If you're here before watching us finish the game, leave.
Or be subject to spoilers, which
Yep.
I would highly recommend against. So, Amakusa, I mean, he's just kind of funny. He's just there. He
He's
doesn't.
just a guy for me. I don't like him. I don't hate him.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent on him.
I like that one part where he said you don't like Mzaki, which was obviously in reference to the music in the game.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, no, I feel like the majority of his character was to be comic relief. Sort of almost as a... He did play an important role in some of the plot, not very much.
Yeah.
But most of it was just, I think, to kind of juxtapose Anja's very, like, dark humor and her brattiness, honestly. It was just to have a character that could bounce off of her, really. So it was more to be a foil to Anja than anything else. So
That, and he was our tether to reality. We knew we were in real life when
He was
Amakusa was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amakusa in real life. All right.
Ooh.
Well, you already know what I'm going to say for the next one.
Who's the next one?
Anja.
Anja. Who cares about that thing? Dang. Oh,
I love Anja.
she is the vehicle by which the narrative is told.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of hard to put her anywhere below the top two for almost anyone, I think.
Oh, absolutely. You would have to have something personally against her if you win otherwise.
Yeah. But I love Anja, and I loved... episode 8 just deepened it even more than I already loved her for, because I liked that she came in and helped Battler, and I liked that she almost grounded Battler back in reality in episode 3. Was it 3?
4.
Or 4.
Yep.
And I just thought she was cool in episode 4. So then I liked her for that. But then obviously she got reintroduced into the story, and I didn't even think she was going to come back. And then she ended up being literally like the protagonist of half of Answer's arcs, pretty much.
That's true.
So I was, I just, I'm glad that she got to go on and live her life and grow beyond Prush
Yeah.
Ultra.
It's true. She... I don't know what to say. She embodies the theme of Umineko post...
Yeah.
Well, really the entire theme of Umineko in its whole. So...
Without love, it cannot be seen.
Yeah.
And it's just a story of Anja after losing her whole family trying to get love again. And then finally, she does.
Or she doesn't.
Or she doesn't. It's your choice. It's
Yep.
But you're stupid if you pick the wrong one. You can...
All right. Next up.
Osmodius.
Lust.
See, for me, this is like me judging their characters, not like me being like, oh, like they're cute or something like that. I like all of the Seven Sisters. If it was like, if we were just talking questions arcs, I probably would have been like, oh yeah, they're funny, but I probably would have felt like the same way about Amakusa that I do about them. But they actually they became a lot more important because of Answer's arcs. So I do like how they fit into the story in that way, and how it's like, obviously implied that Beatrice slash Yasuda sort of took the images of them and then transformed them into the 7 stakes. That being said, though, that I do think there is a separation between the 7 stake version and the non-7 stake version.
Big time. For me, Asmodeus, in particular, she's the one of lust. She's just funny.
Yeah.
She's just making remarks all the time.
She makes funny little jokes about wanting to get Goda.
Mm-hmm. The 7 sisters are not created equally by far.
No.
I put her in indifferent along with Amakusa for me, because I'm like, she's not on the same level as like Lucifer, Satan, and certainly not on the same level as Mammon.
Mammon's definitely the most important out of all of them.
Yeah.
Again, just because of her interactions with Archer.
I will tell you,
that.
I'm almost assuredly putting her and Beelzebub in the same tier because they're both just funny little things.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Now, I don't think we can really even go off of the metric of like dislike being like, oh, I think they're badly written characters, because I don't think any of these characters are badly written. So dislike would be like, I just dislike them, right? Like I just think they're
it's
like
just your personal preference, yeah.
Yeah, then I'm gonna put all of the made versions of the 7 stakes in dislike for me because they're mean.
I put the, what is it, Asmon? What do they call this one?
Oh,
Asne.
They're mean.
I put her in dislike. I can't remember. One of them wasn't mean. It might have been Mammon's. They weren't mean. They knew him they had like 2 whole lines of dialogue. The rest of them were mean though.
Someone wasn't mean. And that was, who was it? Which one wasn't mean? I think it was Mammon.
I think so, because Asmodeus and Beelzebub were together, and they were the 2 disrespectful
they were
maids.
The 2 most, like, they were the latest ones, and they were disrespectful, and the whole thing was, like, Claire pranking them. Prank them, Claire.
Mm-hmm. But then I don't remember the others.
I know that Lucifer and Leviathan and Satan were the oldest ones, because they were all together. And they were all mean, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Yeah.
And then obviously the others were the middle group, and I think it was Mammon out of them that was nicer.
Yeah.
I think Belphegor was... Actually, did Belphegor ever show up as a maid variant?
I don't know.
Because there isn't one here.
They must not have. Yeah.
Oops. Look at all the other ones. Lenon. Oh, no. It's just a completely different... Yeah, it doesn't follow the same naming convention, so they're down in the L's. Lenon. I remember one of them was like nice, but like backhandedly nice, and I think that was Belphegor's. I think it was Belphegor's version.
Yeah, I can't remember well enough. I don't remember.
Anyways, though, Asumu.
Now, what did she do? She didn't do anything
Well, both
wrong.
her and Kyrie are kind of really manipulative. If you believe everything that is said about both of them.
Yeah. She didn't do as much as bad as Kyrie for
No. But
she died of an illness.
Yeah, the only image that's given to me of her does... I mean, at least by the end of the story, I have come around to not liking her very much. Just
That's
because by circumstance of her actions with Rudolph, she ended up contributing to the situation with Kyrie, where she never knew Battler was actually her son. And thus leading her to dislike him even though he actually was her son. And that entire thing could have been avoided, in my opinion.
See, my counterpoint with that is that Battler and Rudolph like her, and they love her.
True. So she must have at least been nice.
That's where I see it. They must be enough that they cared about her. So that's all I can see it as. And as far, I mean, we know that what she did so that way she would have Rudolph. But she also didn't entirely, because it was more Rudolph's fault, I feel like.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? That's where I'm
Yeah.
at with it.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's all we really get. We don't get a whole
True.
lot
We
about
don't
her.
get a lot.
She,
I'll put her in indifferent just for the circumstance of she's obviously not as written out as some of the other. So yeah, I do have a bit of bias in that regard because she's not as written out as everyone else is.
true. I'm treating her with a bit of optimism. As far as I know, she could be as bad as Kyrie was, but we don't know. So
We don't know. We don't know.
So I put her in indifferent.
All right. The man himself. How could I say no to a face like that?
It's useless.
It's
all
useless. It's
useless.
all useless. You have to. There's no way. You're with him the whole time. How can you dislike him in any regard?
Some people do.
They're stupid. They're dumb. It's like the what were we talking about? The George haters. They're stupid.
Yeah. Umineko fans try to read their actual story challenge impossible.
It's those people that read through it in one sitting. They only skim over the details.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about Battler. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, no, you can't. I mean, the same thing's going to be for Beatrice as well. Not these two who are here, but actual Beatrice. Like, they're both just the GOATs of the story. You can't not love them. So
I mean, if we're going to talk about it genuinely, which maybe we should save it for when we do another tier list of the characters, but like Battler, both of the Ushiromiya, Battler and Anje, they are stand-ins for us, but they have their own character. They're not blank slates that we put ourselves onto. They think the same way we do at different stages in the story.
Yes, precisely.
And they affect the story directly with their own actions.
Did I say over the course of the game, I'm Battler pilled right now? And then I ended up saying something that Battler says like 2 lines later.
It's true.
And then the same thing would happen with Anja too. Like, yeah.
It just shows the power of Yukishi's writing that he was able to predict his audience that often.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Exactly.
So, I love the Battler. Now, the first of many.
The first of many.
A Beatrice.
The Beatrice.
Yeah. I mean, she was funny. And her part in the story ended up having massive ramifications.
Yeah, it was a very short part, but it was super important to the plot.
Yeah.
Feel bad for what happens to her family line.
Yeah.
But she's not guilty of that.
No. In a way she is, because she was complicit to being on that island, to being cooped up in Kuwadorian.
Yeah, but I don't think she knew that when she had her daughter, Kenzo was going to do that, though.
No. He didn't. No, definitely not. But I guess she also didn't have a lot of choice because she was like a war criminal.
Yeah, that too. She was a, well, I mean, that is kind of like being like a Nazi's daughter. Are they like complicit with the crimes of their dad, right? Because she was, although she was on a military mission, she did choose, to leave Italy with the Italian Navy to get that gold away from Italy. So she probably could have been charged. Yeah, probably not with like the death penalty or anything crazy, but she probably could have went to prison. So yeah, that is something to account for. She is a fascist.
For me, I could be putting her in either indifferent or like. Either would be fine.
I'm gonna put her in like, just because I spent enough time with her, and she was impactful enough to the story where I'm like, yeah, okay, I appreciate you as a character.
I'd be putting her in indifferent for now, just because I want to wait to see who my first true like is gonna be. It could be her upon further revision.
For me, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add a row, which is just gonna be the goat row.
The goat row.
Yeah, because these are just gonna be the characters that it's indisputable that they're good, and so you should. That's just where
it is true.
So we're gonna put
that there are some characters that are like further above the best characters.
Yeah. This is the how could you literally not row. This is the.
I'll keep it to the same 5, but that's okay. If it's my personal like tier, nah, I'll add another one.
All right, so that takes us to Elder Beatrice. The Elder Beatrice.
Yes.
I mean, I have pretty much the same opinion. See, that's the thing for me is, of all the Beatri, they all retain certain parts of the whole. And I love Beatrice, so I like them each individually.
I need to make an image of the the Trinity.
What, the Elder, the Chick, and the Castiglione?
Yeah, and then like have Beatrice in the middle and say is
Beatrice,
is not.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's really good.
Anyway, I'll put her in like just because I really enjoyed in the story how they illustrated the difference between the two different versions of Beatrice through her.
Mm-hmm. Same. What do you mean, what does that white cat do, Conklin? That's Deanna.
Yeah.
You don't remember Deanna?
We'll get there. It's not her turn yet.
Beatrice.
Is there anything else to say?
Yeah, just get her up there. Just kidding.
Cackle.
Beelzebub. Funny Beelzebub.
Going in the same spot as Asmodeus for me.
Oh, how we had fun with you, Beelzebub, with your funny British voice.
I hated you.
Yeah, I'm putting Belnay in there too. These ones are probably all gonna just go in the same rows as each other, except like maybe Mammon.
Yeah. Belphegor was of mild importance in the Rudolph duel.
True.
That's about it though.
Yeah.
See, I'll put her in. No, for me, I'll put her in like because I really like that duel.
I'm putting her in indifferent for me. Didn't put her above and beyond for me.
Yep.
Okay.
Bark.
Now I feel conflicted with Burk because I know, and I'm gonna try not to get super meta with this, but I know that she's Feathering's Miko, and I know that means that she was probably written to be the villain of this story. Nonetheless, I still hate her.
I love her. It's going to be hard for me not to rank every metaphysical character.
I love her, but like
love.
in a she's really super well written way. But like as an individual, I hate her.
Yeah. Burn go crazy.
And so since that's what I'm basing it off of, not like how well written they are, but just what I feel about them as a person, she's going in hate for me. She's...
As is your right to do.
Deanna is Will's cat, or do I remember that wrong? Yeah, no, yeah. Deanna's Will's cat.
I don't know. I guess we'll get there when we see it. Right.
They're very important to the story. Very integral.
Okay, I can actually read this. Let's say Chick.
Yeah,
the
Chick Beatrice. Yep. She's going to go with the others for me.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
already
She just goes with the other one.
The Shysters. Shyster Sister Imperial Guard. Look at them. They're all stanced up.
I'm putting 00, 45 in like, and then 410 in love
I'm
for
making
me.
a new row.
What?
I'm making a new row. That should not be there. It changed it. No, this is the goat row. And it needs to be the right color.
What in the world?
Sorry, 1 second. I'm modifying everything.
You got the.
Okay. There we go. I need to change this color. Shyster 556 has to go there. This is the you literally didn't appear in the story row, so I have no way to have an opinion on you whatsoever.
Yeah.
I suppose I could just put her in indifferent, but at the same time, I feel like it's a different indifference.
Yeah.
Because this indifference is, I have seen you as a character and have gotten to interact with you. This indifference is, you never showed up.
One indifference is comprised of pluses and minuses that equal 0. The other is just 0.
Yes, precisely.
But what about the other ones?
Shyster 00? Funny.
She's cool.
She is cool. She's the cool leader of the Shyster sisters.
She shows up later.
That they sorely needed after they were introduced, and it was just the two goofballs. It was... I mean, they're technically important to the story, but as a narrative device, not really as characters. As they are guns. That's what they do.
But it's their character.
It is their character. I will say, though, I don't think I ever had a moment where I was like, I hate you, or like, why are you doing this? Like, every time they were on screen, I did always think it was funny, usually.
Yeah.
They made me laugh. They made me giggle a little bit. So
when their ears go down.
Yeah, I think all three of them are probably alike for me in that regard.
I love 410.
410 specifically?
Yes.
There were hints at like them having deeper characters as well. That like just stuff that, which I mean, it made them feel even more real because it was things that like never got extrapolated upon because it's their personal life. But like, what was it Kenzo said to 410 at one point, which was something about like her love life, and she got really distraught about it. It was crazy. It implied like that she had some kind of like trauma with a past relationship, and I was like, whoa.
I can't remember. I just love how silly she is.
She is very silly. Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Claire. See, I feel like the point of this one, of Claire, is that she's kind of supposed to be here. I feel like the point of Claire is you're supposed to be indifferent about her.
That's kind of how I feel too.
Because she is the blank slate upon which Beato is placed. She is the medium through which Beatrice is explained to us.
I am putting her in like solely because I love the scene of her and Will doing the games.
That is a good scene. Identity crisis, green Beatrice is so weird. Mint Beatrice, excuse you.
Mintatrice.
Made mint Beatrice.
Yeah. Oh.
Cornelia.
Character growth. Window breaks. Next time we see her, window doesn't break.
Window does not break. Ryukishi, you've done it again.
In order to try and maintain a semblance of not having every character be A tier or above for me, I'm putting her in indifferent.
Indifferent? I like Cornelia. I like the Heaven troop, the gang of the Heaven gang.
Yes. I'm trying not to have every single character in like or above.
Hey,
so
like's B tier for me, so.
Yeah.
S is goats, and then I got A, which is love. Okay.
Yeah, I went ahead and did
Deanna?
that too, but goat.
Yep, have to put her up there.
Clear goat.
Clearly. She
Oh
clearly
gosh.
What, Dillanor?
Yes.
What about her? What are you goshing?
I have to begin to make tough decisions.
I love Dillanor. I don't think
Yeah,
she's
but
a
is
goat.
she a goat?
I don't think
No?
she's a goat, but I love her. I don't think she's See, for me, the reason Anjo Battler and Beatrice are goats
I suppose.
is because they are omnipresent in the story the whole time and like likable pretty much throughout the entire story, except for maybe Beatrice in episode 1. But that's also because you never see her really in episode 1. But even as the pure antagonist that she is in episode 2 and 3, she's still really likable because she's funny. So that's why they're GOATs for me. Which Dillinor is not omnipresent in the whole story, but I still love her. I think she's a great character.
Yeah.
And I think she's funny, and I think she's morally a good person. So I love her.
Okay. I can get behind that. She doesn't embody any of the tenets of the story.
Yeah. She exists outside
cool
it
as
as
she is.
a rules lawyer.
Yeah. Look at my lawyer, man. I'm going to heaven.
Look at my lawyer, man. I'm getting off scot-free.
Okay, then. Now a toughie, then.
You know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because it's for the exact same reason that Bernkastel is where she is. Fantastic character. Amazing writing. Morally reprehensible individual in every way, shape, and form. In fact, I'm just going to do this. Because I think she deserves to be at the top of hate for me.
I was talking about her with my boss today.
She is a rat.
I forgot that I had told him what her self-acclaimed title is. So that was fun.
Where are you putting her, Pertuset?
Oh, GOAT tier, obviously.
Okay.
She, if we're going jokes aside, she does embody part of the message of the story.
That's true. That's true. She embodies the truth side of everything.
The truth being more important than moving on.
Yep.
Yeah. So I put her up there. Jokes included, I love Erica. I love people that I hate. I love hate people. Hate love
Evil
I people.
women.
Exactly.
Horny.
Who was it that said that? I think you like mean women. Someone said that to me once.
I remember you telling me about that. You like mean women.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Oh, mean
time
woman.
for Ava Beatrice. Yeah. She's strange for me.
She is very strange. If you showed me everything except episode 8, I would hate her.
Yeah.
And then in episode 8, it's just a complete turnaround. I don't know.
I'd be putting her in my dislike. And it's very complicated. Why? Because most of the time she is a villain. But she's a very simple villain for most of it. Although she is the embodiment of Ava's drive. I understand why. I don't know if I loved how it was handled. Her transitioning from being the evil witch to the good witch.
It was pretty abrupt. It was pretty abrupt.
I would have wished that we would have seen more happen with Ava Beatrice to make her turn into a good witch instead of just things happened with Ava that thus changed Ava Beatrice.
Yeah.
I almost wish there were two Ava Beatrice, a black witch and a white witch version. But because her identity is confusing for me, I put her in dislike. Her identity in the story, anyway.
I can agree with that, I think.
And even if you put that aside, most of what she did was bad.
Yeah. The vast majority of actions she actually took were bad. Ava.
Save for helping Anja. Ava Classic?
Ava Classic.
I mean, like, you already know.
Do I?
It's a little tough, actually.
Yeah, I think for her, as the story went on, I grew more to understand her, but not necessarily still agree with everything that she did or the actions that she took. But at the same time, unlike Ava Beato, a lot of the actions she took weren't necessarily just straight up bad. They were just things that she thought would be the best, like trying to get George to marry. She did take in Anja It was just after being stonewalled by Anja that she also responded in the wrong way, which was, oh, I guess I'm going to stonewall Anja as well. That's obviously, that's boiling it down to like being very simple. But I think it's indifference for me, but not because I'm like, oh, I don't like know either way. It's just like, I can understand her as an individual, and I don't condone everything she's done, but at the same time, I don't think she's, like, a bad person, necessarily. I just don't think she's a good person, either.
Yeah. For me, I put her in like, just because, at the end of the day, she's one of the deepest characters in the Ushiromiyas.
True.
It was
Probably
a tough
the
battle
most
for
explored.
me.
Besides
Yeah, I
battling
couldn't...
Anja, obviously.
I couldn't choose between like or love because I love her character so much as it's told. But at the end, I went ahead and went with like just because... I don't know. She's a very complicated character, and some parts of her don't... I don't know. She's Ava. What more is there to say?
She's Ava.
She's taken by Hideyoshi anyway.
True. That's the next tier list we're gonna do, is the hot scale. No.
Yeah.
Featherine! Can I just make a tier that's scared? Can I?
Scared. Scared tier.
Like,
I'm afraid she's watching me.
She's probably the only character in all of this that I genuinely am like, I don't really hate her. If she was real, I probably would just be afraid of her.
Yeah.
Like, it's different from Bernkastel and Erica, where I'm like, oh, you're super powerful and evil, so I hate you. With her, it's like straight up, I'm afraid.
Okay, I was just double checking. Ikuko is separate on this, so...
She is, yep.
Featherine by herself... That's another tough one for me.
And I'm not sure where to put her necessarily.
I like her more than I don't.
She is like she is pleasing to me in a weird, like, eccentric kind of way, just because she's weird.
She's a very cool introduction to the story to be something that's more powerful than Bernkastel and Lambda Delta.
Yes. I think I'll put her in like. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
no
I will
particular reason. I'm
too.
just feeling it. I'm just.
It was tough between that and love for me, but I don't think I could put her in love. I don't think I could put her on the same tier as Dillinor.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
Fur.
You already know for me.
Applause sound effect.
Yep.
Where do you think these two are gonna put us, Zephyr?
I'm not doing it.
Ah.
We have a long ways till we get to mine anyway, because this is alphabetical.
You can do it then. When we
Yeah. I put her in like. I don't love her.
I put her in love. I love Zephyr and
Yeah.
Fur.
They're very funny. They're really, really funny.
They're not goats, but they quickly endeared themselves to me.
And they are important to the story, too.
Yeah, they are. Gop.
This is going to sound crazy.
Yeah?
Maybe not. Hold on. I got to reconsider.
Oh, okay. That's it.
I hate it, though, because my like list is growing too long.
Mine is the longest, but only by one.
Mine's longest by 3.
There's a lot of characters to get through.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I can't say that I love Gop. She's interesting.
She was much more important to the story, like, in the middle, which is kind of weird. She wasn't important at the very beginning, and she wasn't important at the very end, but she was important in the midsection for the development of Sayo as a character and for the stuff that happened in, like, episodes 3 and 4.
Yep. So,
I mean, I think
she's chilling.
She's funny. She's a funny little Frenchie, although she's probably not really French.
No.
But the way we interpreted her, I thought was a funny way to interpret her. So
I thought it was interesting how she was the first design of Beatrice. That was interesting.
True.
That little callback to that.
yeah. She is
or
the
at least
first Beatrice.
Yasuda's Beatrice.
The witch Beatrice. Or just the witch.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, eh.
Yeah. I put her in like for mine. Genji.
I mean, he's not actually a goat, but he's the goat.
He is the GOAT. You gotta give it to him. I'm putting him in love. Just because he's just one of those characters where he's so unapologetically loyal to a fault that you just can't help but love him.
Every single interaction with him was only positive
Yes.
for the player.
Yes. Precisely.
I wish I knew more about him. Yeah, I'll put him in love. He's the coolest guy.
George Tom. I'm still saying, by the way,
Jorge.
they should do like a... Well, Yukishi should do like an Umineko prequel.
Well, there is the two that we haven't seen, which they're not prequels, but I'd be interested to see what's in them. At least I don't think they're prequels. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Tsubasa
I'm
and
talking
Hane.
like a direct prequel where it's like it involves characters for, or maybe not necessarily a direct prequel because we already did get a little bit about Kenzo's early life, but do something with like the characters that show up in Umineko later. Like, why was Genji like really good with knives and all that stuff? Do a little side story about early life Genji. Doesn't even have to involve the supernatural or anything. It could just be an entirely different story.
Hey, maybe he'll show up in Kikonia.
Yeah. Man. Super Soldier Genji.
True.
In my headcanon, he's like Snake. He's like Solid Snake, and he's just retired.
Yeah.
That's my headcanon for Genji. That's
He may be. I have no idea.
kept you waiting, huh?
True. Genji.
Anyways,
The man that served the world. Jorge. What do we do about this guy? He's had his aura farming moments.
despite my interactions with him in episode 8, right? Which I'd say were very different from every other time we interacted with him. I do not hate George. I do.
What?
In fact, I think I like him just a little bit.
I do as well. I wouldn't put him in love, because I think his fight scenes were the most boring of the ones. No
Yeah.
offense, fella.
His whole thing being I counter you is not the coolest
Yeah.
power in the world.
And then him and his connection to Shannon was interesting and cool, but I knew in my heart of hearts it wasn't about George and Shannon. It was about Battler and Beatrice.
It was.
So
And honestly, if you remove the George and Shannon one and just had the Canon and Jessica one, it could still work exactly the same. And the same could be said vice versa. There doesn't need to be two relationships skewing Battlers.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I think it's got to be that way.
Does it?
I think it do.
Why?
It's a lot simpler if it's just one problem, right?
That's true. But there's still a problem.
Yeah, but it makes it much more complicated when there's even more. And it adds to the fact that Sayo was frigged up.
True, it does. It does greatly add more depth to Sayo as a character. That part is true. I'll give it that.
And George, too. Without the connection to Shannon, George is really lame.
Yeah, George is very bland without Shannon.
But either way, I'd be putting him in like just
He's
because.
a nice guy.
Yeah, nothing wrong with him necessarily.
I'd probably be like friendly acquaintances with him in real life.
Yeah. I like that scene in the bathroom where he's practicing his proposal and Rudolph hears
That
him
was,
the whole
yeah,
time.
that was good. That
was
probably
good,
the
yeah.
funniest moment we got with George, which is saying a lot because it wasn't like super funny. It was just like a haha.
Yeah.
It was-
Gaturudo!
Gertrude. I like
I'd be
Gertrude.
putting her with Cornelia in
Yeah, I'm putting her
indifferent.
right next to Cornelia. But for me, that's like and not indifferent. I like both of them. They for me, they give what Genji gives to Kenzo, but to Dillinor.
She do be allowed to speak, I will say that
She
much.
do be allowed to speak. Both of them be allowed to speak.
All of the goats.
Well, come on.
What?
I already got a category right for them.
Who?
In a weirdly ironic way, they do technically fit the category per episode 8 of what we've been doing for the goats, which is like being integral to the message of the story.
I do like that part a lot. I stuck them in indifferent because early on, I mean, they're just grunts. They're there purely to be representations of the magic. And then later on, I like when they're used in episode 8 like a lot. So that saves them from the dislike tier for me.
Yep. Not joking, probably indifferent. Yeah, they're just minions. Goda.
D. Hate.
You hate him?
Enough said.
I don't hate him, but I don't like him. And I'm not indifferent about it either. He's a dork and not really a morally correct person either. I don't like him. I don't.
Going off of my metric of who I like a lot and who I don't, he serves zero purpose for the story. He has no correlation with the plot or the themes. He's just there as an extra body.
Yep.
Sorry, Goda. Oh.
Uncle Hideyoshi.
Oh, Hideyoshi.
Oh, Hideyoshi. Such a kind man in such a hateful world.
You know, I wanted to put him in love.
Yeah.
But to keep him with the rest of his family, his wife
Dang.
and his son, I'm putting him in like.
True. Let me move. Oh no, Eva's indifferent for me, so it wouldn't matter. I don't love Hideyoshi, but I like Hideyoshi. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm indifferent about Hideyoshi. No, I like Hideyoshi. He's not up there with like Dillinor, but he's Hideyoshi. Come on.
Yeah. It's true.
The list is now getting large enough that I have to start scrolling down to grab pictures.
Yep.
Ikuko.
Now, we know that she and Featherine are one.
Yeah.
But if we separate the actions of Featherine away from Ikuko, not a whole lot to say.
She really only, we only get her in episode 8. I mean, technically we get her as Hachijo Toya before that, but she most literally just serves as a way of moving the plot forward, basically.
True.
As
I be putting her in
the
indifferent.
author. As the
Yeah.
I'm indifferent. Jessica.
Jessie.
I like Jessica.
I'll also put her in like.
It
Don't
might
hate
be,
her.
It might be a little bit of a attachment bias for me because I played her in the game, but I like her a lot. She certainly has more character than George, with the whole dynamic of obviously, not wanting to be the prim and proper girl and breaking out on her own to do what she wants with music and all that stuff.
At the same time, though, she frustrates me so much.
Yeah.
She wants for nothing in this world, and yet she still finds things to want.
True. True.
But I put her in like nonetheless, because I know that her heart is pure. She's not being malicious. But
No.
she frustrates me sometimes, that girl. Other instances are when she caused an asthma attack that led to her death because she chased down the witch in episode 2.
Yeah. She does
Or when she
very easily succumb to her own anger.
Yep, when she got enraged in episode 3 and then lost her eyesight because David fired a gun at her. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Maintain your rage at the age of 18? I couldn't.
She's just a barbarian.
True.
That's what she does.
It is.
What about her boyfriend? / girlfriend, maybe?
Canon.
Canon.
I love what he does for the story.
True. He does actually have some big moments that are kind of important.
If it weren't for the fact that like halfway through he gets redeemed, stays redeemed, I would like him more.
Yeah.
But because he kind of by about episode 4 or I think about by episode 4, maybe 5, from then on he's always like, I love Jessica, I want to be in a relationship with Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine, but I liked him most in episode 2 when he was like, I can't be in a relationship with you even though I have feelings for you. I love that dynamic.
Yeah. I think both sides of that were important.
Indeed, they were. I just wish we saw more of the fluctuation.
Yeah, it did. I mean, after you've played the whole thing, obviously, it feels like it wasn't even that long for it to just happen over the course of episode 2. I could understand like maybe drawing it out to be the majority of questions arcs was more of that than not, and then maybe just having answers arcs be more of the I'm committed now. That could have maybe actually hallmarked the divide a little bit more. But nonetheless, I do like canon.
Yeah, he has some cool aura farming moments.
I do love a good, healthy relationship as well. That I'm always a sucker for that, so it makes it hard for me to not put canon next to wherever Jessica is, too.
And yet, where's Ava? No, I'm kidding. All right.
Well, Ava has a healthy relationship with Hideyoshi, but she definitely doesn't have a healthy relationship with George.
That's okay.
Or with Anja.
He's his own man.
Or with the rest of her family. Or with...
Kasumi.
Hey.
Right next to Goda.
No redeeming qualities whatsoever. Meant to be hated, I think. So yeah, no, I don't think there's really much discussion that needs to be said about her.
True. I do hate her a little differently than I hate Goda, for sure.
Well,
she is kind of meant to be...
She's much more important to the story than Goda is.
Yeah, she's temporarily a foil for Anja in episode 4.
Yeah, when Anja is doing the whole I'm gonna be a good witch thing and then immediately forgets about it.
Yeah. But, nevertheless, don't like her.
What do you mean small bombs can't exist without Goda, Duke Onklid?
Goda cooked bombs.
Oh, Captain.
It's been so long.
Kawabata. Mr. Krabs.
I don't like him.
You don't like him?
And that's because of information from the trick ending. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit.
Okay. I mean, I genuinely don't think I'm ever going to go play it, or if I do, I'm just going to skip all the dialogue. So you can tell me if you want to.
All right, spoiler warning for everybody. Last chance. Okay. It is revealed or otherwise suspected by Anja that Kawabata was, when you flash back to episode 4, Kawabata was in on a plan to kill Anja on Rokenjima.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Along with Amakusa.
Well, that much was already implied by,
Yeah.
we had a little scene about that, but yeah, the fact that Kawabata was in on it doesn't,
Yep. It's been a while since I've seen Trick Ending, though, so I can't remember if it was, like, yes, he's in on it, it's implied he's in on it, or if Anja was just like, I think he's in on it.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Without like much more than that to go off of, I'll probably just put him in Indifferent as well, because I already have Amakusa in Indifferent, and I already knew about him being potentially in a plot to kill Anja. Although it did seem like when he talked on the phone about it, he was very much like, we'll see if it happens or not, which to me implied that he probably wasn't actually going to do anything. But yeah, I mean, I'm indifferent on Kawabata. I don't really.
Yep. The only thing really I have to say of a note of him is that it was very cool. Anja had her big discovery moment.
Yeah.
Because she had at his shop, yeah.
Now, here's a real man's man.
Gosh, man.
What?
He's so complicated.
Is there something wrong?
He's so tough.
He's a pretty horrible person. But
at the same time, he's presented so nicely in episode 8.
he's a horrible person because of his love being twisted to make him a horrible person. Which I do think, it doesn't redeem him, but sort of like with Ava, it makes him a lot more understandable. It's not just like it's not like Kasumi where it's like, you're just a bad person. You can look at him and feel bad for him because of the way he is.
It's so complicated because, well, we can pretty safely assume that the Kinzo we see in episode 8 is not the real Kinzo in any way, shape, or form.
But
the only
we can
what?
also assume that it's not necessarily true for all the other Kinzos that we see, that they're the real Kinzo either. I personally believe it's somewhere in the middle between the two.
Maybe. The only true Kinzo we see that's nice is the one in episode 7 in his flashback.
Yes.
Flashback Kinzo. Where he is nice in so many ways. He's nice at least to Beatrice.
Yep.
But I don't think I can forgive him as much as I may want to. I'm putting him in hate because of what he did to his daughter and what he did to Natsuhi and what he did to the rest of his children.
Yeah.
I'm putting him down there for all those crimes. As much as I'd rather him be redeemed, it's too much for me.
Yeah.
Not this time.
That's the thing is, I don't know if I hate him, but it's just because I feel like I have so much pity for him. And I think that's clouding my ability to hate him, which I think is a bad thing, because I do think he is someone who, like, people should not, like, give him credence just because of pity, which is what I'm doing right now. But I just can't overcome. I just can't overcome my own pity for him. I just feel so bad for him. So I'm putting him in dislike instead of hate, because I do still not like him, but I just can't bring myself to be like, I hate you.
Yeah. Well, even though she's on this list, even though we don't interact with her like at all, his wife I'm putting in dislike.
Go. No. Yeah, no, she sounds pretty bad from everything we do hear about her.
Yeah, it seems like she, if not was complicit in the abuse of her children, she contributed to the abuse of her children.
Yeah.
That's all we know about her, so that's...
Kraus.
Kraus-tastic. New tier.
He's not a very good businessman, but I think he's a good father. Or he at least tries to be.
He's debatedly a good husband.
Yeah. I think when it comes to being a family man, I think if Kraus wasn't rich, if he was like middle class, I think him and Natsuhi and Jessica would be like the happiest family on earth.
True.
They would be great. Yeah, if they weren't rich.
Does he do anything outrightly bad? He's mean to his sister when he's younger.
Yeah.
Misogynistic.
I think that's really the only thing we see that's like him straight up. I mean, unless you count like all the times where the siblings are debating the money as well. But everyone in that situation is then like, oh, they're all being greedy, so they're all bad.
Yeah, and he was on the back pedal in each of those.
Yes.
I'll put him in like because he had that really funny scene in episode 4.
True. He had the boxing scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's
all I need to say.
John.
Very funny.
Yeah.
I like her introductory scene with Battler.
True. That was good. She's mostly comedic relief. And when she's not, she's well, no, she still kind of is, because I was going to say when she's not, she's scrambling and frazzled and afraid, but that can also, I think, be construed as comedic relief as well.
I think I'm putting her in love tier.
Love?
Well, when I think about what it's not really seen.
She is kind of a mom to Yasuda. Exactly. Yeah.
And it's the implication that she taught her magic, quote unquote.
True. You're truing.
I know that that's not really her
more
yet.
Of like Vergilia, or is that?
Well, that's what I'm like, but it's the implication that she did. In the same way that Genji's up there, it's not for the same reason necessarily, but
she's in like for me.
When I think about all that Kumasawa in reality did for Yasuda, I'd be putting her in love tier.
Yeah,
because that's so nice of her.
I understand that. I can understand it. What about her son?
Hate. Hate him. No, I'm kidding. I'm very indifferent. He's the definition
He was there
of
for
indifference.
5 minutes. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Kuwadorian Beatrice is different?
Oh.
I suppose she is, because this is Castiglione's daughter.
Yeah.
And the mother of our Yasuda.
As well as the one that Rosa killed.
Yes. She seemed fairly innocent to me. I mean, I have no... But I like...
Innocent, yeah.
She was kind of important. She was kind of important to the story because she had Rosa be like, "I remember I killed her," but she doesn't do much outside of that.
I'd be putting her in indifferent because she didn't leave any mark on me. I feel bad for her.
Yeah,
but as a character, I'm not like
probably
Kuwadorian
the
Beatrice.
most unfortunate Beatrice out of all of them in the whole story.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh gosh. Okay, now I have to really scroll. Now you can't see the goats anymore. You can't even see the bottom half of them like you could earlier. Kyrie.
That's a tough one. She's cool.
She is.
She's also horribly cruel.
Yeah. We now know that it's not necessarily true that Kyrie actually hates Anja and doesn't care about her at all. That wasn't necessarily the whole truth.
Well,
it could have been a truth. But it wasn't the truth, according to...
I am not so sure about that.
Not? I think
remember,
all the truth that is wholly revealed to us is that all of them died, necessarily.
I don't know. It depends on your interpretation of Berncastell's Red Truth in episode 7. Because after seeing all that happen, she says this is the truth of what happened on October 4th and 5th of 1986 in red. That's what I'd be saying.
But is that because it's the truth, or is it because that's what Anja was thinking that was the truth?
I don't think that's how the red works.
Anja repainted the red.
Well, I don't know. I'm relatively confident the events of the Tea Party or the question mark of episode 7 is what actually happened on the island. Which would mean Kyrie did say those things. At least from my
That's the case.
understanding.
She would definitely be in hate for me, but
She said those
confident if
things.
that is or not.
Couldn't act on them.
True.
Because of Ava. I'll put her in dislike. In the same way we have some people in indifferent because they have pluses and minuses that balance them out. Kyrie has mostly pluses that are like minor pluses, and then like one really bad negative.
Yeah, no, I was gonna put her in dislike no matter what. I was
Oh,
even with my argument of like that not being what actually happened, I still don't care for her too much for the reasons we discussed earlier when Asumu was brought up. Out
Yeah, that
of
was pretty
Rudolph's
cruel.
2 wives, she is definitely the more manipulative of the 2.
yeah.
And the more willing to do what needs to be done to get her way. So yeah, she's lower than Asumu is for me.
She almost should be right next to her sister or whoever. Yeah, it was her sister, right?
Yeah, Kasumi.
Yeah. Oh well, that'll do for now. That's good enough.
I'm just gonna go ahead and yep, it's going up there. Yep.
I mean, I'm obligated by law to put Lambda Delta in the top 3, right?
Oh, true. She not at least number 3. Oh God, who goes below her? Of course, Battler has to go below her, obviously. Duh. She has to be at least number 3.
That was
I
the deal.
promised. Yep, that was the deal
Yeah.
for her to help us. So she. But what more can you say about Lambda Delta? I mean,
She's funny. She's
fun.
pink.
She's pink. She's super paper.
Yes.
And she's probably one of the most helpful of the supernatural entities in the whole story, even if she would probably be like, "Nuh-uh, I was a spectator for most of the time." Even when she was a spectator, though, she was throwing out help left and right. She was giving hints. She was, like, backing Battler up with stuff. Like,
And lest we forget, She was the game master and designer of Game 5, which is the one that culminated in Battler becoming the Territory Lord and understanding Beato's game.
Precisely. So she's a goat. She is a goat.
Top 3. She booted Anja down for me.
Yeah.
I love Battler Beatrice too much to knock them down from top 2.
I can't really, for all the time, I can't really actually have them be like in an order for me. I don't think any of them are above each other in my mind.
I think that was the actual listing when, like, the Umineko popularity listing right after episode 8 finished or came out was Battler. I think it was Beatrice, Battler, Lambda Delta, Anja, I think was the list. I have to go check it again.
Oh, they did it. We did it, Japan.
Yeah, they did. They did. Over time, it has since changed because they've done more popularity polls since then. But that one, she was top 3.
Oh, we have another person talking in chat with us. Thorwin. They're back on when we were talking about Burn in episode 7. Yeah. Oh, the list has actually substantially shortened.
Yeah, there's not too much left.
There's only 2 rows left.
Yeah.
Lanon.
I guess go into dislike with the rest of the maids.
Yeah, no, the maids weren't nice. I don't like them. Lennon. I've read, what's the one that makes you want to kill John Lennon? I haven't actually read it.
To Kill a Mockingbird?
Is it The Catcher in the Rye? I think it's The Catcher in the Rye.
It's one of those 2.
I don't think it's To Kill a Mockingbird because I've read To Kill a Mockingbird and it didn't make me think I should kill John Lennon.
Well, I don't think the person that got that message was of right mind.
I think it's Catcher in the Rye.
I'll take it.
Leviathan.
She had the cool scene with Kyrie.
She did. She's greedy. Except she's
envy. Yeah.
I just think greed for her because she's got green hair.
True. No, that's Mammon.
Mammon is greed. I forget that. Yep. I just remember Mammon as Mammon.
True. I don't know. I mean, she's fine. I think I'll put her in indifferent.
I'm pretty
I'm
indifferent
not
on her.
especially passionate. Like I said, I like her fight scene with Kyrie in episode 3.
Yeah.
Leon.
I like Leon.
Yes. I'm trying to decide if I love Leon. I think Leon just wasn't around long enough for me to get to that point.
That's what I was going to say is if he was there for all of Answer's arcs, he or she, I would have liked or loved probably.
Yeah, I like Leon's whole thing about being the hopes of what was it, like 2,500,000 Beatrice are on his shoulders or on their shoulders. Yeah. But oh well, good enough for now.
Lucifus.
That's the head honcho.
Head honcho. She has that funny little scene with Canon where she gets humiliated by him and then everyone laughs at her, points and laughs at her. Ha ha ha.
I'll put her in like since she's the leader.
I'm pretty indifferent on her.
Yeah.
I don't think she rises up into like for me.
If there was a way I could like I need this to be a box and whisker plot almost like
Yeah.
Yeah, she's dragging the rest of the sisters up into a weird B.5 for me.
It would be completely different if this were like if it was, what was it? There's the one on the Steam community page that someone has done of this where they just have all the 7 sisters in their own category, which is cute. And I agree with that.
Funny.
I agree. I would also do that. I would put all of them in cute except Mammon, who would go in probably love.
Well, as it so happens. Well, we still have to get rid of the maid, but I imagine...
Get in there. Get in dislike with the rest
yeah.
of them. Meanie.
But Mammon...
Mammon. I love Anja, so it makes me love Mammon because I think Mammon's integral to Anja. She's like Anja's Samwise Gamgee in episode 4.
Yeah. I don't think I can put her in the rest of the tier of the people that I love, like Dillinor. She's great in episode 4, but I just don't think she's on that same level.
She doesn't do much outside of episode 4. I can concede that, but I think it's just because of my love for Anja that it pulls her up. It box and whisker plots it for me. Anja pulls Mammon up for me into love, I think.
She is quite good. She's close to she's close to love tier for me, but just not quite. Just not quite. Her maid
Manon.
form, I'd be putting indifferent because that's the
Yeah.
one we're pretty sure was relatively kind.
Yeah.
Maria is a certified goat.
Goat. We love
She
Maria.
knew the whole time.
She knew everything. She
It
tried
was
to tell us from
magic.
the beginning. She was
It
telling
was
us
magic,
from
man.
day one.
She knew.
Oh. Masayuki. Who? I mean, you did talk for 5 minutes, but literally, like, who?
Nanjo's son. He was a little rude, but I understand why. Otherwise, he's just a chill guy. I'll be putting him in indifferent.
I'm hooing him.
True.
He and Shyster 556 are down there. Nanjo.
I like Nanjo
like
a
Nanjo.
lot, but I don't think I can say I love
I
him.
don't love him, but I like him. He's a likable
It's a tough
guy.
one.
Little
It's true.
walrus man.
I wish I loved him. There were parts where I wish I did, like him convincing Kinzo not to kill his entire family outright.
True. He was goated for that, but that was like his one main moment where he was goated.
That, and then his presence in Burns' game in episode 8 was really cool.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
Natsuhi.
I think I'm getting a headache.
Don't think about it too much. Don't. I like Natsuhi. I don't think I would put her in love despite people's assumptions. I would probably put her pretty high up in like if I was putting her up there, like probably like here. I like her a good bit. I just, again, she falls off by like episode. Well, no, she was pretty important in episode 5, wasn't she? Wasn't that where we did the whole?
Yeah, she was very important in 5.
Yeah.
She was
but
not
yeah,
very
no.
important in 6 through 8.
Her whole story just gets resolved pretty much. Like she is a whole character, but way before the end of the entire game. So it's just like, yeah, I like her. I do really love I think my favorite Natsuhi moment ever is probably the end of episode 1 where she goes to try to confront Beatrice to protect the children. I think that is probably her most respectable moment for me in the entire series.
Respectable, yeah. My favorite moment of hers is when she's getting pinned down by Erica on where she was the time of the murder. I love it. It was the total ego death of Natsuhi. Yeah. She's so stubborn. I was happy to finally see her stubbornness get hurt on her.
A lot of Ushiromias are stubborn.
She takes the cake. Oh. But anyway.
Okonogi-san, I'm indifferent about you.
He's in Higurashi. I love him.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I did.
I'm kidding. I don't love him, but he is in Higurashi.
Yeah, I'm indifferent. I mean, yeah, it is implied in episode either 7 or 8. I don't remember. I think it was 7, though. That he's like, hey, we gotta get Anja if she doesn't get on board. But, like, whatever. What? Otsuki.
Same.
I don't know. I think I dislike Otsuki.
What? Why?
I'm dislike pilled on the witch hunters. I think that I'm of the opinion that it was mentioned several times that they are kind of desecrating a grave by digging around and constantly bringing up the deaths of the Ushiromiyas all the time. Obviously, I probably have a little bit of bias because we're watching this from the perspective of the Ushiromiya family the whole time, but I'm biased. I will readily admit that I'm biased, so yeah.
That's fair. I cannot put him in good conscience in the same tier as Kyrie.
There's levels to it. There's a level.
I will put him in indifferent. He's just a hobbyist.
Ronove?
I think he goes into love.
I love Ronove. He doesn't go and go, but he's in love.
He goes right there alongside his counterpart, his Gigai. Yes.
Ginjalon.
Indeed.
Rosa Umineko.
Another tough one.
What a character you are, Rosa Umineko. Well, I don't really care for Rosa too much.
It's gotta be hate, right? It's gotta be hate.
I'm not sure.
It's gotta be.
I think I'm doing the same thing I did with Kenzo, where it's like I do pity her a lot. But I do think, well, Kenzo also abused all of his children.
This is gonna sound crazy. I can forgive her beating Maria. I told you it's gonna sound crazy.
Yeah.
I can't forgive her lying to Maria.
True.
When she's like, oh, I can't come home, I'm working late this night.
That's
And she's
pretty
like, I thought we
nasty.
were gonna go to the store.
Yeah.
You promised. And she's like, I'm busy working, sorry. And then some guy on the phone is like, hey, is that your daughter?
And you know, that's where her and Kenzo are different. Kenzo wouldn't lie to his children. He would tell them he hates them.
True.
He would be like, what? No, I don't want to go to the movies with you.
Yeah. I'm out getting thanged on.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Rosa.
Sorry,
Umineko.
Rosa.
I'm
Very
not,
cool character,
I'm not sorry. I'm not.
but
You
you're
are
an awful
cool.
person.
You have very cool moments, but yeah, you're just terrible. I mean, we can't really do the tier list based off of how well written they are because they would all just be on the top. They would.
Yeah.
So. All right.
Speaking of,
Yep.
also pretty bad person.
Yeah, I think I hate Rudolph. Oh, hey, GeForce Game Driver update is available.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if they're gonna see that or not.
I will just barely. I'm eking him out into dislike.
Also, I just realized I think the music has like not been playing for a while.
What happened?
Am I crazy? How long has that not been going on for? I bet what happened is it did that thing where because I have an ad blocker, YouTube has like the ad screen up, but it's just not playing the ad where I still have to press the skip button because it does that with some ad blockers where they've been trying to get around
maybe.
them. So I bet it's just stuck on that screen. I'm not going to go over there to do that though because I don't want to have to deal with doing OBS stuff. So,
True, we're almost done with this list anyway.
yeah. Yeah, I think I hate Rudolph. For the aforementioned reasons of it probably is his fault that the other two women that get married to him are the way they are.
Yeah.
He does enable that situation pretty heavily.
He loves his kids with all
Does
his
love
heart.
his kids.
But I'm under the assumption still yet that the events in episode 7 are what happened.
Mm-hmm. Even if they weren't, I
So-
still hate him.
Because of that, I hate him. Because of his adultering and stuff, that just compounds onto it for me.
Yeah.
For me, if he was just an adulterer, I'd probably put him still in like tier because I'm like that's bad, but he does love his kids. He doesn't abuse them, unlike many of his siblings.
True.
Um,
But if episode 7's true, he definitely abuses his kids.
then I put him in C, or I put him in hate or dislike tier.
He doesn't
'Cause
abuse
I'm like-
them regularly like Rosa does. He just abuses them by killing them. And
Yeah, exactly. So, sorry, Rudolph. You're cool again. I loved your scene in Banquet when you shot Belphegor. I think that was Belphegor.
yeah,
That was cool.
Gelf.
Yeah.
All right, well, Sakataro.
Who are you?
I love Sakataro.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I hated doing his voice. He's a silly little
He's just
critter.
meant to be a cute, funny character. Not in that way. Not in that way. Not.
I would like him more if he stayed a plushie.
Yeah.
I'll be putting him in indifferent. He's a hopeful character.
You don't understand, Pertuset. He has to be an anthropomorphized cat boy. You don't get it.
You know what? against my better judgment, I will put him in like purely because I have the shysters there too.
Okay.
So Maria's furniture can be there.
Sanon. You're going with the rest of them. Get in there.
Steak.
Satan.
Nate tier, steak tier.
You're going with the rest of them. Get in there.
Yep.
Shannon. OMG Shannon. Hi.
That's gotta be love tier for me,
I
right?
love
Like,
Shannon.
she's integral. She's
She is.
everything.
She is integral. She is the human side, I think. Although technically we have Yasuda, but like I feel like if we're doing the breakup of between the witch and the human side, then Shannon is the human side of Yasuda in that regard.
Yeah.
I love Shannon. She was gonna let him do it in episode 1.
What?
Honka honka. Anyways, Toya.
Oh, I thought you meant someone with George. Okay, Toya's tough. He's a very tough character with the information you receive about him at the end
Very
of episode
little.
8. Well, it's little, but it's like, you know who he is. You know who he actually is.
He's battler, but not.
And it's tragic that he isn't. I'm about to put him in... I don't know. I want to put him in love just because of that ending sequence of the whole visual novel.
But is that him or is it battler?
Well, but it's like, but you know what I mean?
Yes, I'm indifferent on him.
I'll put him in like.
I still haven't really even sorted out all of that. You're closer to your own answer about him than I am, so that's why I'm indifferent on him. I just experienced that. I haven't got much time to think about it, really.
I love that sequence so dang much. But because it is kind of hard to differentiate between him and Battler, I'll put him in like and call it he's caught between indifferent and love.
Yeah. Virgilia-san. Virgilia-sama.
I'd be putting her in love.
I love Virgilia. All of the what do you want to call them? Otherworld furniture, the Beatrice furniture, I guess what we would call them. They're great. Ronave and Virgilia.
Yeah. It's true.
Sorry, I just keep looking at Dillinore's face.
True.
She's doing that face. You know the one. You know.
Yep.
Willard.
I don't know about Willard, man.
He's cool.
He's cool. Yeah.
I mean, I like his interactions with Leon. I like that they become fast friends really quickly.
You know what? I'll be putting him right beside Leon.
Yeah, I'll
I
put
feel
him
like
with Leon.
that's all I can do. Yeah.
But again, just similar to other characters that got introduced quite late, we don't get too much of him. And he's pretty much a main character in 7, but 7's very exposition-y. And then after 7, he goes back to not mattering very much except for action scenes.
Yep.
And an epilogue.
Sorry, buddy.
Well, look at her. Poor little Yasuda. The fervent Yasuda. So easily forgotten.
Insanely true. I guess, like, what's the line for her, right? Like, where are we drawing the line on what is Yasuda and what is
this
not?
is going to sound really weird, but if we're going with the Holy Trinity analogy, then she is everything, isn't she? She is Beatrice. She is Shannon.
But is she?
I feel like she is. I feel like she is all of the above.
Or does Yasuda stop at when she becomes one of the others? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'd be done saying, man. That's what because we never meet Yasuda truly.
I feel like she is. I don't know. There's just I just have a feeling in my gut. I feel like she is.
If you choose to believe her that way, then she's got to be a goat because she's everything.
Oh yeah, that's where I put her.
If you choose not to, and you think of purely what Yasuda did prior to becoming Beatrice, she's still pretty high up there.
Yeah, I would put her in love if I was basing it off of that, just because she's an unfortunate character. But she's just
I was
a
thinking
little girl trying her best.
mainly with her reaction with Battler and the white horse thing.
That too. Kawaii.
It's so sad.
And integral to the whole story.
Indeed.
In fact, that is the reason behind the Umineko no Naku Koroni.
It's the reason why the seagulls be crying.
Yep.
Why you crying so
we
dang
be
loud?
crying, yeah. Earth to earth, illusions to illusions. True, true, Duke Gauntlet. Sakutaro's important for his inspiration for Anja's writing.
Yeah, whatever. It could have easily have been Goda's Big Adventure or whatever it was called.
Big Adventure. Oh, I want to see that fragment. Anja,
True.
Anja. Okay, well.
The magical chef looking for the one ingredient.
Yukari. I mean, it's just Anja. There's actually no difference between Yukari and Anja.
But if you have to try to separate them, it's Anja in the future. It's what Anja does as of the question mark until the end of the question mark.
Then I'd say she's a goat because she brings Battler to the Fukuin house, and then we see what we see there because of Anja or Yukari, I guess, supposedly.
I'd be putting her in love tier for doing that.
Yeah. Without Yukari, there is no "you've kept me waiting," Battler.
It's true. But so too can the same be said about Toya.
True. I'll put her in love too, I think. But at the same time, I just don't really separate her from Anja. All right, Zepar.
I guess we're about to find out, Furfur.
Where's Furfur? I put her in love. Get over there. Get with your co-host. There we go.
I will also put her with the co-host, but for me it's in like.
All right. It's kind of squished. My top of my goats tier and my bottom of my who tier are slightly cut off. But you can see all of it. Here it is.
Mine's awful close.
Indifferent and like are pretty similar in number. There's 2 more likes than there are indifference for me.
I got the most of mine are in like.
Yeah.
I got a whole extra row.
Mine are the most of mine are also in like. I've got 2 rows for like, indifferent, and dislike. Everything else is a single row.
My dislike is only 1 row.
My dislike
but my hate has 4
just gets
people.
to 2, and it's because I put Otsuki in there. Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's
everyone.
that.
There's the This is the definitive Umineko tier list. Everyone has to go by this from now on. This is the morality scale. Mine specifically.
Yeah.
Pertusets doesn't matter.
Or unless you want to pick mine, because in mine, Burn Castell is S and Erica is GOAT.
Nope. His doesn't matter. Mine's the one that matters. Because it's the one that's on the screen right now. But also, according to Thorwin, I think you talked about this one time. There's a special Goda chapter in Umineko Tsubasa. I think
Maybe.
you mentioned that at one point.
I
It might
remember
not
there
have
was
been on stream,
cut
though.
content. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know much about Tsubasa and Hane, because last I checked, there was not an official translation. There might be a fan translation somewhere, though.
Yeah.
Or maybe there is by now. I'm not sure. But basically, I'm at the point where I'm like, if it's not on Steam,
Yeah.
maybe it is. I don't know. I'd like to play it one day, but I'm going to wait till there's an official stuff. I'm also kind of secretly holding out hope there's going to be another Umineko thing. I don't know even what I want at this point, because it's pretty wrapped up, but I just want more because I love it.
More Umineko content is always nice. Just make a new fighting game. Make Golden Fantasia 2 with just more characters.
But they did that already.
Did they?
Well, it wasn't 2. It was Cross. Ogon Muso Kyoku Cross.
Ah. Make 3.
Yeah.
Now add all of the Higurashi.
Bro. No, well, I guess they were also featured in Higurashi Mei, the gacha game.
Yup.
No, they need to make a strategy, like a Fire Emblem type game now.
Type game would be crazy.
Yes.
I think they should make 5 Nights at Rokenjima.
Holy, who's the band?
Does it have to be a band? Does it?
But it's got to be like 4 characters at least.
Beatrice, and Beatrice.
Dang it.
And technically, that still works. That's just...
Which one is which?
Beatrice. No, I can't do it again. Beatrice is Beatrice. No, I can't.
True.
Beatrice exists, and Furfur.
Exactly. Well,
this is it.
indeed.
This is the last Umineko thing we're ever going to do. We're not going to talk about it anymore. We're not going to mention it at all. We're not going to allude to it. We're going to forget everything we've learned and experienced together with all of you after this stream. Reset.
Except for Sunday.
What?
The Great Showdown.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was yeah.
Sunday. The duel of a lifetime, if we can make sure we figure out how the online co-op works.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or I guess it's not co-op, online competitive.
There's a version of a D&D campaign visual novel of Umineko. It's called Witches and Woodlands.
Got to look into that.
My 2 favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Umineko character isn't even... Who's your favorite character if they're not on this tier list?
If it's from Tsubasa or Hane, it doesn't count. Sorry. I know there's a blue-haired character from Tsubasa or Hane that people really like.
Dang.
Apparently they're like a cross between Dylanor and Erika.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know very little about them. I just see the sprites and I'm like, oh gosh, what are you?
Great heavens.
But in any case, yes. I think that's just the next thing that's coming up, unless Jordan streams something on Saturday.
Yeah, she might. I don't know. I was joking about that earlier, by the way, guys. I don't want you to think that we're going to forget about everything that happened in Umineko, because I really like this game, and it was a good experience. That was just a joke. I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea. We're going to play Golden Fantasia on Sunday.
And I'm going to beat it out of him and give him amnesia like Toya.
Probably because he's been practicing and I haven't. So
I only practiced once.
That's more than me. It's if it's from Saku, it does then. What?
I think Saku's... I got to brush up. Saku might be another spin-off name.
Well, I guess technically it's there. Bro, who? Just say. We're all friends here. We've all finished the main game.
I doubt there's many more spoilers. But even I don't know.
Yeah. It's not like we were able to forget. I've got love in my heart.
True.
It'll always be with me.
I always forget everything, though.
True. That's why I had to play it a second time, again, to remember all of it. So tune in 4 years when we replay No.
But no, Sunday we'll do Golden Fantasia. I'm excited to see how it's going to go. Mostly I want to see who we're going to pick and how it's going to be. Yeah. And then, well, Tuesday I'll be doing Fallout New Vegas and I'm hoping to finish it. Hoping to.
Dang, already?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, This Tuesday I streamed for 5 hours.
Ah. Yeah,
I really wanted to make Mr. House happy.
I saw that. I saw that you said anything for you, Mr. House, in your thumbnail.
Yes. And then next Thursday, we begin our next new big visual novel adventure.
Which should, unless, like, Steam's like, no, you can't buy this, be Danganronpa. I did need to ask you a question, because Taryn asked me a question, and I didn't know the answer. There's some, like, other version that Taryn asked if we were going to be playing or not.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
It's, I don't remember what he called it. Does it have Trigger in the name?
That's the name of the game, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc.
There's another one. There's something else. I don't think that's the one we're playing, though, because he said it was, like, you shoot people in it.
Oh, is he talking about the spin-off game?
I think.
Well, we're definitely not playing that first.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to be playing it first. I also didn't think we were probably going to be playing it. I
don't think there's a need to.
Unless it ends up being like Umineko, where I'm like, I've got to engage with every other form of Umineko material possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you can if you want. We might stream it. But as of the time being, we're starting with just Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc.
Yeah.
Or a.k.a. Danganronpa 1.
Yep.
The first one.
So it'll be a little
Ultra
different.
Despair Girls. Yes, Ultra Despair Girls is the name of that.
There you go. Okay. It was Ultra Despair is what he called it.
Yes. I've seen that game. I haven't played it for myself because I didn't want to shell out the money. But yeah, we'll be starting that next Thursday. Same style as we did this one. I've already played through the Danganronpa games, so I already know everything. I was so excited when V3 came out. Yep. It had yet to come out when I was like into Danganronpa, but then the leaks of it were coming out, and I was like, eee! So I'm like, I love Danganronpa. But and Levi hasn't played him.
No, I haven't played him. And then, eventually, because Danganronpa, all 3 Danganronpa games shouldn't take nearly as long as Umineko did.
No, I'd wager if we keep up the schedule we're doing now of Thursday, Sunday streams, we'll probably be done with all 3 of them by end of year.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
And then after that, we're going to do the ever-promised Higurashi, which will be both of us have not played it, which Pertuset has watched the anime, but he has not played the game. So that'll be fresh for both of us.
Indeed. I'm excited to see some of my favorite characters. I really, 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 really hope I get the cop in Higurashi as the person I can voice act.
I don't know.
I want to get him because I love him.
After that, Duke Onkla just said, I was about to say, we don't know what we're doing, so we want requests from you. But Ace Attorney would probably be a good one. Ace Attorney would be a good attempt, I think. Although aren't there a lot of Ace Attorney games?
I think so. I have no idea about Ace Attorney myself either. But that is a long ways away. Yeah. So keep your suggestions ready. But I would say save them for a while because we're booked up for a good couple years.
All right. Well, I don't think there's much else to say. I mean, this has been sitting as the screen for a while now. You guys have been staring at it, so you know what I think.
Yeah. I might make a community post with my polls or my picks later, but
okay,
that's about it.
I guess we'll see you all on Sunday.